We were getting on top of this thing. And the signal that sent, the signal that protest being allowed to proceed sent to Victorians was that gathering in small groups was thrown out the window and that social distancing was no longer important.
What are your thoughts on the ADF being brought in? Is it needed? Does it freak people out further?
I think when you're in a time of crisis, as we are at the moment, Chris, we should not be afraid to put our hand up. The Victorian Liberal leader, Michael O'Brien, has been calling for a number of days now. I think what Daniel Andrews has finally acknowledged is that Victoria does need help. Now, what we would like to see is those ADF personnel deployed to hotel quarantine here in Victoria. We've seen that private security guards that are not particularly well trained have been a source of clusters of coronavirus. We'd also like to see them assisting with testing centres right across the state. In some areas, there have been up to 4-hour waits for people to be tested. Now, if you're lining up in your car for that time, you're doing that for a reason. You're doing that because you have a genuine concern that you have coronavirus.
Well, have we reached a stage where the Health Minister and the Premier of Victoria are putting too much faith in the hands of those who are running Vic Health, and they've been let down back?
Yeah, well, Chris, you know, I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but let's talk facts. Last week, you would have seen that in Victoria, the Labor state government was engulfed in absolute scandal with alleged corruption within their own ranks. The ministers in this Andrews Labor government at the highest level have been preoccupied with looking at themselves and trying to feather their own nests rather than caring for Victoria. There is much more of this to come, and this is what happens when governments and political parties focus on themselves rather than what the voters put us there to do, and that's to care for other people. Victorians have rightly looked to governments, whether it be here in Victoria or in other states and territories, our national government, for leadership when it comes to combating coronavirus. And by and large, governments have done a very good job of getting on top of this. But in Victoria, Daniel Andrews and his government, in our view, has not only dropped the ball, but as a result, Victorians right around this state are now suffering because of it.